And hello, you are listening to Profound Radio. I'm Mapal.
And I'm Silven.
I'm Shannon.
And we have a very special guest of us today from Profound Bond, and that is Veronica.
Hello, I'm Veronica, or Still is Canon.
So, yes, and she's absolutely, wonderful. Everyone should love
I'm not
Veronica.
not a special guest, sorry.
I'm Silven.
I'm Shannon.
And we have a very special guest in it.
No!
And that is Veronica.
I'm Veronica.
Oh my god.
Wasn't me.
So, someone's got the thingy playing. Wonderful. Everyone should love
I'm not
Veronica.
not a special guest, sorry.
Silven.
Who's
I'm
got it
Shannon.
playing?
Oh my god, what's happening?
What is happening?
Have we got it? I think we've got it. We're good.
No, it's good, yeah.
We're good. Hello. Right, oh god. Hello people. Hello everyone.
I'm sorry that happened. I hope you still
Yeah,
love
we're
it.
just...
We still have a few technical glitches. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. So yes, welcome to our third stream now, and we still have glitches. We'll get over it one day, I'm sure. So
Yeah.
so yeah. Hello everyone. Gosh, I'm really tired actually. I don't know about you guys, but yeah.
No, I'm good. It's midnight here, but I'm a nocturnal creature.
It's 9 p.m. for me, so... I'm fine.
It's 8 p.m, but I'm still knackered, so... yeah. Anyway, I have a question first for everyone. I know I mentioned sort of towards the end of our last stream that I was going to read out some fan fiction this week, and I want to know if people want mild porn or fluff at the end of the stream, because I've got both ready. So what do you guys think?
Yeah, are you asking us or the audience?
You and the audience, all of you.
Oh. Well, I am always for mild porn, but I don't know.
Give me all the porn. Give me all the porn, please. No. Okay.
I'm totally down for some porn. I always am. But we're getting like this mixed reaction from everyone. Like you got people who are like fluffy fluff, and then you just got porn.
Porn!
Give me porn.
Well, the internet is for porn, and all that, so...
Yeah.
The internet is for porn.
The internet is for porn.
It's for porn.
Well, the fluff that I wrote is probably going to take me 10-20 minutes to read out, so we'll see how that goes. Yes. So we'll see at the end. I'll make my decision. Anyway, getting on to a bit of our schedule here, we do have a little bit of fandom news. Everyone found out today that Jensen and Daniil are having a baby girl. So
Yay! Congrats!
Yay!
So obviously we're all very, very happy that...
Yes.
Yeah.
This is going to be like the most beautiful child in the
Facial
universe.
structures like a god. Seriously.
Yes, absolutely.
So that's
It's gonna look like Baby Rapunzel.
It is, isn't it? It's just going to be sort of big eyes and blonde hair, and
Yeah.
yeah, everyone's so excited about it. Congrats to them, really. Congrats on the sex, basically.
Congratulations.
On the sex.
I don't know. Everyone's so excited, and I'm just sort of sat here in the middle, sort of like Zachariah, everything's exploding, and I'm just sat here like, yeah.
I'm excited. Because, I think people are often excited because everyone's imagining these little moments they're gonna have.
Yeah.
Because,
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Just imagining their family life, and, it's kind of hard to imagine Jensen Ackles changing diapers, and it probably amuses a lot of
Jensen
people.
Ackles changing diapers, sorry, but people would write fanfiction about that.
They probably would as well.
Don't give people kink ideas.
I'm
It's
sorry.
What? That's
It's totally a kink. How do you not know?
Oh my god, no.
I'm just really happy for Jensen because he wanted a girl and he's gonna get a little baby girl and it's just gonna be so nice. Like he's gonna be really happy, and I'm totally
It's
all
adorable.
for the actors being happy.
Yeah. I mean, and she's like, the second girl now, so at least she's not going to be swamped by boys. At least Mason's there as well, so...
Yeah.
Oh,
But I mean, it's just
Jensen.
Oh god, yeah. I mean, but it's gonna be so touching because, you know, by the time they're done filming the series, all the children are gonna be, like, playing on set together, and it's just really awesome.
So they will start the next Supernatural series, season 88, and then we will have new characters and starring Jensen's daughter.
Oh, that'd be fantastic. Oh, dear. Anyway, so yes, congrats to the happy couple and all that, and, yes, we shall move on now, and I think I'm sort of diving in at the deep end here, but I logged on this morning to my Tumblr, and I had 2 hate messages, and one of them I'm just going to ignore because it's nonsense, but I just wanted to talk about the misconception that Destiel fans aren't real fans. Now, I'm not really sure about their logic behind this. I think they think we only support those, yeah.
There is no logic. There's nothing to be sure or unsure about.
I mean, what makes Destiel fans different than other kind of fans? I mean, people invest their time and they make blogs about it, and I just don't get it. I mean, why is there so much hate for people like us? I mean, we just appreciate a different aspect of the show, and I think that's just crazy. I mean, I don't know where that even comes from. To be honest.
Honestly, this stuff, you know, protectiveness over your show and telling other people that they're doing it wrong often kind of comes from, well, insecurity, really. Like, you know, telling other people that they're, you know, not real fans or bad at something simply because you feel bad inside. It's a thing that really happens often in a lot of areas of life, and it's not surprising. I really don't think that saying stuff like this, sending hate messages, stems from a place of, you know, happiness and inner peace.
Yeah, I mean, I got death threats. I mean, I got like 10 or 20 messages. Last couple of months or so, I think I just reblocked something from Sam fan or something, and he made this like crazy theory about the brothers only show and whatever, and just replied honestly what I think, and then I got death threats of like 20 people or something, and it was just crazy. I mean,
it's just really disgusting.
I feel like a lot of it comes from a sort of superiority that some people have over cast fans and Destiel fans, because a lot of people have this other misconception that people who are fans of Castiel
aren't fans of Sam and Dean, for example. Yeah, I mean, I am a Dean fan first, and then I am a Cass fan. There's no difference for me. I just love them both. I mean,
And I mean, I don't understand why there is this whole thing that, you know, if you're a fan of a character that came first, you're more important, because that stuff completely doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is, you know,
I mean, everybody knows that Sam and Dean are the center of the show, that everything around, I mean, this whole world was built around them. And just because there's a new character that's popular, I mean, that doesn't make him somehow like threatening or something to Sam and Dean, and I just don't get where that even comes from. I mean, just completely confusing.
And I mean, it really comes from that misconception that, you know, if the world is built around them, it should only contain them. And that's bizarre, because it's like, and it was like a picture, if the picture only has kind of a general subject of the picture, nothing else, no details, no atmosphere, it looks so much weaker and draws you in so much less than something that has details and other characters and other things you can attach to.
Exactly, I mean, the writers even said that without the side characters there would be no world around them. It would be just Sam and Dean driving down the road, just killing a demon occasionally, and just like, what's the point if you don't have other characters you are attached to? I mean, what would be the point if Dean was just alone driving down the road with Sam and just not talking to anybody, or not even having a love interest? And I mean, I just don't get it.
No, it don't make sense, really. I mean, I'm a huge Dean girl. I appreciate Dean as his own character, and everyone seems to think if you ship Destiel, then you only like... I generally think you only like Castiel, but I am a massive Dean fan. I'm a Dean stan.
I'm also a Benny fan. For example, I think I started appreciating this character before the actor was even cast, and it was interesting because Dean was getting a friend, and we didn't know anything about him. He was just this ambiguous character, but I was really excited because I really don't want just the Sam and Dean show. I want Dean to have friends. I also want Sam to have friends, and without them, it's just I don't see the point at all.
Yeah.
I also think that they really dislike us, and you guys may have already mentioned this because I saw people saying that they were major Sam fans, but I had to I muted this for a second because I had to go talk to my dad. I think a lot of this stems from them thinking that we only want a Dean and Cass show and that we want Sam out.
Absolutely not. I mean, that would be the same if I just see Dean and Cass interacting and just sitting on the couch and doing whatever it is they want and no Sam and there's no word around them and just... thank you.
I love Sam to death.
I love Sam, and I mean...
Yes.
It's such a misconception in terms of character building as well, because, I mean, what kind of logic is that? Like, he can't have a boyfriend, he already has a brother.
Yeah.
It's like, what?
Yeah. I don't get it. I mean, I absolutely love Sam, and, you know, I respect that Sam is part of his world, and why would I want Sam to disappear when, you know, basically Sam is the biggest Destiel shipper out there? Like, he knows. It's just...
Yeah. Cock blocking.
Yeah.
Of course.
The cock blocking moose.
Whenever he interrupts him, I just go, I'm not a moose. But I still love him.
Yeah. I suspect there will be a scene with Justine and Cass, and then Sam will not interrupt. I think there will at least be one scene because I think they made it a point that Sam interrupts these scenes. Yeah. It always got this kind of high tension before they try to resolve it, and then they have like Sam walking in every time, and I just suspect that we will have this one scene where he's like, "Oh, no Sam, Justine and Cass talking." I mean, this one scene would be awesome.
It would,
yeah.
I agree.
Anyway, moving on quickly, I saw someone ask Veronica whereabouts you're from because they can't place your accent, so would you like to enlighten people?
Oh, of course. I'm Polish, actually, but I was born in Germany, so it's just a weird mix of Polish and German. And now I'm living in Switzerland, so it's even more confusing right now, I would guess. But yeah, it just sounds just weird because my German friends, they sound different when they speak English. And my Polish friends, they then sound completely different as well. And just mixing like both, so just, yeah.
Well, you sound fine. I think people were just curious. Can't sound as bad as me anyway.
Oh my god!
No, you don't sound
You're
bad.
kidding me.
I was going to introduce the show in my whole accent again, but I decided better of it. I'll do it next time. It's fine. It's just it's terrible. It's really bad where I'm from. I weep for this accent. It's the worst.
I love your accent. Sorry, but it's sexy, really. It's just
it's adorable.
And we start flirting, and people will start shipping us. Yay!
Yeah, we were talking about this. I think you just created a new ship. That's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. I give people official permission to ship me with anyone.
Yeah, you get bonus points for fan art. Bonus points for fan art.
You guys can gender bend me if you want to ship me with any of these guys.
Or you can just do bro TPs, you know. It's fine. Anyway, we have some leftover questions from our last few broadcasts, so I think we're going to try and work our way through a few of these. I'll dive straight in with our first question. This one was from Supernatural Blog on Tumblr again. If Destiel went canon, do you think it would happen in one of the last episodes of the entire series, or do you think it would happen earlier on and we would be able to see their relationship change and grow on screen? Veronica, do you want to start us on this one?
Yeah, I could start. I mean, I don't think they would make them canon in the last episode of season 10, because I think there would be too many issues already, and Sam and Dean would probably die or something like that, and I don't think they would go that far and make it so dramatic. I think they would perhaps make it canon in season 10, but I don't think the established relationship would be like going on for episodes after episodes, I think they would just kind of be more subtle about it, not completely like showing them, I don't know, growing. Just it would be off screen, I think.
Yeah.
Just
And if I can say something, I do think that, it's not completely impossible for them to kind of, take the plunge like in the last episodes, but it would be kind of a very safe way out, and I wouldn't want them to do this because like they do it in the last episode, they kiss or something, and they don't get the backlash because she was already over or something. But the thing is, I really think that it would make not that it would make completely less sense, but the thing is, with the dynamic their relationship is developing, it would be really weird if they just keep kind of walking on that middle ground and then have a jump to romantic in one episode.
no.
Because it's that kind of slow, steady development, and if it is to make any sense, they should, make it develop naturally and turn more and more romantic slowly, and people should be able to see it, for a couple of episodes, for like a good season at least.
I mean, I never thought that something would change if they like go canon. I think they would still, just hunt monsters, and we won't see them like cuddling or something. I just don't expect that. I think they would just act the same way they do now.
Yeah, I mean, we don't want to see them making out every episode. We just want to see them make out once. That's it.
I kind of picture if they do have anything that, for maybe a few episodes where they usually have those last few minutes before the show goes off after Sam and Dean finish a hunt, they'll sort of dedicate it to Dean and Cass a little bit. Like, Sam will still be in the scenes, but you'll still see a lot of character development between Dean and Castiel and their relationship growing. And sort of Sam
that'd
will
be beautiful.
in the background and be like, now kiss.
Just shove them together, just like, kiss!
Yes.
Oh my god!
I kind of just want Sam to run into the room and just grab them both by the hair and shove them together.
I mean,
He would do
well,
that.
they are kind of two idiots in love,
Yeah.
He's
kind
just, remember that scene when Cass was like all dressed up and he just walks into the room and Sam was like smiling and smirking and was just, wow, that was awesome. It's just so super Sam. I mean, just, wow, never getting over it.
Yeah, I mean, Sam was just like, Dean, how do you feel about your boyfriend being all spruced up again? It's just like...
Then we got to actually see how Dean felt. I call BS on anyone who does not think that was a freaking boner. I am a dude.
I recognize it totally. I mean, I'm sorry, but I went to middle school with a full class of hormonal teenage boys. I got to see that movement so often during class, during break time. I know what it is, okay?
You see,
I'm a guy. I know how they work. I've had personal experiences with these things. Trust me.
I've got a little bit of a different view in that it wasn't a full erection, but I think something definitely happened downstairs.
Something started to, kind of, yeah.
Well, in the male way to sort of get rid of an erection, to press really hard at the base and hope it goes away.
Most of the time, it doesn't.
No. It's not really a solution.
So we just have to... Okay, I'm not going to explain how to fix boners on podcast. That's awkward.
Oh dear.
Okay.
I'm just gonna move on now. So basically, we're going back to our original question that we got so diverted from, and I didn't answer actually. I think I would like to see a slow development, but I really don't want them to screw up the relationship, so I kind of want them to do it late in the game and just leave it hanging with Dean and Cass in a relationship at the end. That's what I really want to see. But
I mean, there's also this argument that people say once they go canon, like be in an established relationship, it would get boring. Usually people say that when, it's often, I think that's a possibility. I mean, like all this tension going away and they're like romantically involved now, and that could be a possibility, but I don't think it would happen with Misha and Jensen, because I'm sorry, but they have high, sexual tension all the time.
And I mean, come on. With the amount of issues and relationship problems these guys are potentially gonna have, it's totally not gonna change all, like hearts and roses if they finally get together. Seriously, I mean, so much to work through. Like,
Dean's trust issues for one.
yeah,
And Cass's gonna have to work around that, and Castiel's own suicidal issues, and there's a lot of water under their bridge, really.
I really don't see how people would think it was boring, because, I mean, if they got together, that's an entirely different dynamic that the writers could really explore if they got it right. And I don't see how that's boring at all. I would watch. If I was someone who was a casual watcher, I would become very intense just to see how the writers would handle that and make them sort of go through. And if it got boring, then I would get disappointed, because that's just.
I don't think it would get that boring. I mean, it's just Musa and Jensen. I mean,
they would have to
go. Yeah,
I mean, they would have to try to make it boring, because I mean, in a show that wouldn't, completely center around it anyway, because there's a lot of other plot going on, it would be really hard to make those moments that they would have boring. I mean, seriously.
Yeah. And kind of a Destiel sex scene would be the least boring thing on the planet, can I say.
People are also bringing up, like, examples of shows where the couples who had like seasons worth of sexual tension got together, like Casket from Castle and Booth and Brennan from Bones.
Yeah.
Have either of y'all watched those shows? Because I watched them religiously.
No, I don't, but one thing I did watch was Torchwood, and, there was Yanto and Jack, and that was just an absolutely beautiful same-sex relationship.
Oh god, can we not talk about Yanto, please?
Okay, but...
I'm still not over that.
No, I don't think I'll ever be over it, but...
I haven't seen it, so don't spoil it.
Exactly. I'm not spoiling it, but it was amazing. Beautiful, so...
Okay, we should move on, because we're going to kill everyone with feels if we keep on talking about this.
Yeah, they're all really upset now, so I'm just going to leave them to stew while we move on to our next question. This was from Ananon on Tumblr. With this latest parallel, who do you think is the master and who is the familiar? I think they're referring to Destiel here. Portia says the familiar finds the master. Of course, Cass found Dean in hell, but likewise Dean found Cass in purgatory. Do you think this is a reflection of the fluctuating equality of Dean and Cass's relationship? I think it may be foreshadowing that Dean will save Cass as Portia did to James, if we assume Dean is the familiar. So, do you want to start, Silver?
I refuse to watch that episode, to be honest, but I already suspect that Dean will save Cass.
Yeah.
I don't know, in the same way that Portia did with James, I don't know if that will happen, because I don't know what happened, but I think he will definitely save him, and it will be kind of really dramatic, I suspect.
With the parallel, I kind of see, honestly, I kind of saw, in terms of, like, the actual parallel between characters, I kind of related James a little bit more to Cass, because season-wise, James was going through this almost the same thing that Cass is going through. He's being manipulated into doing things that he didn't want to do, even though he didn't actually ever kill anyone.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I definitely kind of agree. I kind of think that it sort of shows how there's two different sides to the relationship, and because each of the two characters, James and Portia, they had a little part of Cass and a little part of Dean in each of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I were to interpret this as a parallel, I would think that, as with many things that parallel to Dean and Cass's relationship, and as with the general tendency of their dynamic, all these things can be really seen either way and reversed, because this is how Dean and Cass's relationship works out to me in general, because their storylines, they're kind of parallel to each other. Mm-hmm. And there are events that really line up with them, and I think that, just like, their roles can be always very easily reversed and switched, and I feel like with parallels, it's really kind of the same.
Yeah, because they're similar. I mean, they share certain characteristics, and that's why it's so easy to switch it around. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I think, like we were saying, I think last week, is, Dean and Cass switch very easily between roles between the pair of them, and, like 1 minute, Cass will be very dominant over Dean, and the next he'll be very submissive, and that's just their relationship. Even if you don't see them as a romantic couple, just their relationship in general it's very, both of them can play different roles depending on their moods.
It's very switchy.
Yes.
It's very switchy. I think that's one of the reasons, like, I don't know, bring in a little personal here, but that's one of the reasons why I identify with Dean so much. If we're talking DS here, like, and stuff, I identify as a Switch, and Dean really gives that off, kind of.
Yeah.
I really think he's a Switch kind of guy.
It's yeah, I definitely agree there. So, you know, when it comes to the familiar and the master, or handler, as someone put it, I much prefer handler, yes, instead of master. I don't really know which roles I would put them in, because, as you said, you know, James is similar to Cass in that he was being controlled, but, you know, I don't know, you know, whereas Cass is the mythical creature like Portia as well, so it's very, very tricky to put them into those roles, really. But it was a nice parallel.
I think that's why they're so balanced, that they can switch around, that this relationship is so balanced, because one can have the same issues that the other one had, and they can talk about it, and that's why this relationship works so well, I think.
Yeah. Definitely agree. Anyway, should we move on to our next question? From someone who I love their username, I really do. From It's Called a Worm Stash. I love it. You guys were discussing the possibility of human Cass. I just want to hear you guys talk about how Cass's immortality as an angel presents problems for a potential long-term relationship. In the long run, I mean, wouldn't he almost have to become human? Who wants to tackle this one first?
Maybe I can.
Yeah?
In terms of building a long-term relationship with Dean, if we're talking about how the show is most likely to kind of end and, you know, develop, I really don't think Dean will live to be a very, very old man, and the kind of perfect ending for them together is that, you know, Dean goes to heaven and Cass joins him there.
Yeah.
So
I don't think Dean will grow old. I think Jensen and Jared, they always pushed for this sort of ending of the brothers dying or something like that, and I think he will definitely die in, like, season 10 with Sam, and then I'm not really sure at this point if Cass will be like human in season 10, but I think it wouldn't even make a difference, because I don't know, I suspect that he would get killed off in season 10 and then he will join them in heaven anyway, so, but it's really tragic, I mean, because I think there are a lot of fan fictions where Cass is like still immortal and Dean is dying, and there was this one fan fiction when he was like staying on Earth and he could go back to heaven, and like, wow, I just cried, because he was like cursed on Earth for millions and billions of years, and it was just, oh no, that's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
You're just killing us with feels here. Actually, I wrote a terrible fan fiction. I'm guilty here. I wrote it the other week where Dean was hoping Castiel would be there in heaven when he died, and he wasn't. And I'm so sorry.
Oh God.
I apologise.
I really kind of want to see. This is really sad, but I kind of want to see in the show. I know it's never going to happen, but I want to see in the show, like, maybe at the very end, Dean dies and Sam sort of he's really sad, but we see in sort of an epilogue sort of thing that he moves on. He's always mourning Dean, but he gets to live out his life in a normal sort of way, because that's how he wants to be happy.
Are you
and
Satan?
Then we sort of see
he is Satan. You get used to this.
Yeah.
God.
Then we sort of see Dean and Castiel in heaven. That's how I want it to end, but it's never going to end like that. And as the season 8 progresses, I'm sort of starting to slowly lose my zest for Sam having a normal life, because it's never going to happen.
You're just so evil. You just.
I don't even know what to say right now.
This is Shannon for you, but yeah.
Apparently I'm Satan.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, you're Satan.
Go back to hell where you belong.
While you were gone in the last broadcast, I joked that, you know, we all thought Devil went down in Georgia, but apparently Devil went down to Tennessee. He was looking for a 60-year-old boy to steal.
God.
Wouldn't that be something if y'all are all actually talking to Satan right now?
Hail Satan, I suppose. Hey.
I'm a...
Never mind. Anyway, you never said Christo, by the way.
Yeah, Christo!
I was gonna hiss, but I can't do it. I can't do it. No, I'll just Anyway, I totally forgot what the question was now. Oh, yes,
fine.
I did want to say something. When it comes to the problems with Cass being an angel, I did touch on this last time, I think, that he is too powerful to be written constantly into the show. Obviously, it's no fun hunting monsters when your angel can just wipe them out with a touch. So that's the big problem there. But when it comes to their relationship, I don't see it as a problem. You know, obviously Cass would be there as Dean grew older, and then Cass would go to heaven with him. So I don't see it as a problem, really.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, we have a super long question. I said I wasn't going to read it out. Silven is meant to read this.
Okay, sure. I received this. I'm gonna read it. Here's a question for the next radio broadcast. I wanted to come back to what you said yesterday about Cass being difficult to write for, and the possibilities to depower him make him human. I really love reading the many amazing ways to do this the fans can come up with, but I'm not sure if the writers see it as well, because if I remember correctly, I saw someone asking this question, Mishra Khan, how to make Cass to be more with the brothers or something like that, and him saying that it's difficult because he's so powerful. And the person saying that the solution would be human Cass, but Misha said that human Cass would be kind of boring. So if the writers are looking at it this way as well, not sure if we will ever get Cass to stick around for more than being a plot device, or being depowered for the sake of him being a plot device, and not for as we would like to see him more involved as a separate character and for his own sake, out of his decision for his own story to move forward and connect with Dean's. So how much faith do you have in the writers to recognize this potential in Cass that they seem to ignore, miss, not see, to give him his own storyline development, besides involvement with Dean? What do you think the depowered/human Cass would do on Earth to not become boring? Personally, I think with all the knowledge he has, he would be a great man of letters and part hunter. Who wants to start? I can. Yeah. The thing is, I think that making Cass kind of have depowered and having him still kind of connected to heaven, but not completely, and also more connected to the boys, would be a really interesting route to take, because, see, we have all these human characters, right? We have Dean, we have Sam, and then we have all these completely supernatural, characters and creatures. But if Cass was to take kind of a middle route and explore his identity as something that's part supernatural, but is also learning to live with Dean and Sam, I think that it would be both interesting to explore for him as a character, interesting material for their storylines, because that would partially depower him, but would still make him a kind of different, figure on the chessboard from Sam and Dean. And it would also give him some real interesting issues to explore, and really could have the potential to give him a storyline, of becoming that way, or of exploring that with his relationship with heaven.
I mean, Cass isn't defined by his powers at all. I mean, he is, his powers are just part of his angel sort of thing, but his personality is basically human. I mean, I just don't see the difference, really, and it really, I think I really get angry when I see people just kind of saying, yeah, he's powers and everything, and it's totally complicated for the writers to do that, because they're getting kind of, I don't know, I think they just kind of like it that he has powers. I mean, when they have a plot holes or something like that, they can always use them to get around it, but and it really insults Cass fans, and I think if they depower him, then he should definitely be in more episodes, because they have no excuses anymore to just kind of leave him out and only have him for 8 episodes. It's just, I think it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Wasn't Castiel supposed to be in a lot more episodes this season?
He was, yeah.
I remember reading that that Misha asked for time off so he could spend time with Mason.
Yeah, he asked for time off, and then they did try to put him in pretty much all of the episodes, apparently.
Yeah,
but he won
I didn't hear that.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah. When the season first started, there was a lot of how much is Cass going to be in, and there was an interview with Misha somewhere. I can't remember where. I'll try and fish it out. He basically said that he did want some time off because of a new baby. They nearly put him in every single episode, pretty much, but he didn't like by the looks of it. So
yeah, I remember how it all went when they were asking Misha, and he said that he had already finished filming, that he filmed like every day for a month.
Yeah. To
get everything done, so that he could have a month off, because they were having Mason and Misha was having Gishwas.
Yes. Yeah.
So I think this is how it all came to be.
And now he has his web series as well. And then he also has a convention, like in I don't know, in 2 months or so he will be in Middle East or something like that. And I'm not really sure if he will be in the like final episode or something, because I heard that the final episode is when he has his convention, but I don't think that would happen, because I remember Adam Glass saying something about Cass and Kevin or so being in the last episode, so I hope he has more than 3 episodes, because, I mean, he's suicidal, and you can't just solve that in 3 episodes.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense for him to be in the last episode, because he's supposed to be heavily involved with the main arc, and the last episode is very likely to do a lot with the main arc, to give us some sort of cliffhanger. Yeah, to give us some sort of cliffhanger, or to just, have a lot of plot development in that direction, so that we can have something to look forward to in the next season. So I'm pretty sure he will be in the last episode. It makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, he's been in the last episode of the last, 4 seasons? So...
Yeah.
Whenever I think of what I want Cass to end up being, I kind of don't see him as being the sort of regular character that he was in seasons 5 and 6. I sort of kind of seeing him sort of doing what Jim Beaver did. He was never a regular character, but he was always in the show a lot.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I picture what they're going to do with Cass, because Jim Beaver, he ended up getting his own stories and everything, but he was always sort of he was never a regular character. I feel like that's the only way they're going to be able to make everyone happy. They include Cass a lot, but they don't make him...
Yeah, I mean, I would be so happy to have Cass in as much as Bobby was in. I mean, I would be so happy. That would make me happy.
They could use him as man of letters, absolutely. I think that would be a very great storyline for him to have him, like, doing research and helping them out occasionally, and I think, it would be great to have him there.
I mean, whenever they need information, they could sort of call Cass, and then if he wants to stay out of the fighting, he can.
And he has a home.
Yes. Oh, yes.
You know what I would love to see?
What?
Like, the whole, Cass becoming a man of letters, but, maybe next season, someone from the Man of Letters actually finding Sam and Dean and Cass all in the little base that they have, and then end up trying to train Sam and Dean and Cass in the ways of the Men of Letters. But Dean, he's really not into it, because he's not the type of person who's all about the knowledge. He's definitely more of the soldier type of person. But Sam and Castiel, they get on it immediately, and you sort of see a lot of Sam and Cass friendship, and then you see Cass helping them out a lot and getting a lot closer with Dean, because Dean's always going to need Castiel's help.
A few people are saying that Cass is a soldier, and yes, I 100% respect that, but with how Cass is at the minute, sort of at the end of season 7, he did not want to be involved in the fighting, and now he's suicidal, and after Naomi's done screwing with his head, who knows where he's going to be at. And I feel so terrible for him, to be honest.
Me too.
I feel that it's kind of Cass's nature to take some kind of middle ground. So I feel if he was to pick between Hunter and Man of Letters, I also feel that he would land somewhere in the middle, the person who asked the question said, that he would be kind of part-time Man of Letters, part-time Hunter maybe, because he always lands somewhere in the middle.
Maybe. I mean, Sam is still a hunter, and he also takes on research, so, I mean, I could picture Cass in the same way that I can see Sam, and just sometimes, going with the Winchesters on a hunt, and then sometimes just staying in the bunker and, doing research. I see no problem with that. So.
No, I mean, he's still heavily involved, just not, who knows, he might be completely finished with fighting now after everything that's happened to him, so... and he's so knowledgeable. So
I'd be done with fighting.
yeah. Anyway, yeah, I just
Jay
want.
is very sad. We're like, oh, that's really dramatic.
Shall I just make everyone feel a bit better? Can I just have your views on how Dean's decorated his room at the minute? Because one half of his room is pretty bare, and people are speculating that maybe he's waiting for someone else to decorate it.
The phone,
Yeah.
like the phone, and there was this desk or something and a lamp, or maybe, but it was like, I'm really curious. I mean, when Cass will be joining them, he probably will get a room, and I can see Dean inviting him, and I pray for this to be obvious.
I wonder if Dean is daydreaming about how, Cash will be in the bunga for the first time and how he will walk around and touch Dean's stuff and...
Oh gosh.
You know what? I really freaked out about whenever I saw it. Whenever I saw Dean's room, I freaked the crap out when I saw that freaking typewriter, because it's always been in my head that he writes stuff down, that he writes down his hunt, sort of like John did. So I'm just sitting there like, oh my gosh, he has a typewriter and it has something typed on it. He's writing Writer Dean fanfiction AUs. Oh.
Okay, Shannon just had a little fangirl moment there.
Yeah,
We all go through that, it's normal.
Yeah, but I do agree. I would just Writer Dean. It'd just be amazing. Just imagine the stories he would write. He would make millions. He should retire.
I'm kind of sick of
really
mechanic
good, 'cause he'd be
Dean.
inspired by Vonnegut.
Yeah. I mean, like Veronica said, just sick and tired of Dean just being the mechanic all the time. People,
Like, they always say that he's dumb and he can just, like, work with cars, but he can even... I don't know, that what I heard about last episode, I mean, I didn't watch it, but I heard that he was, like, dumbed down, and that people said something about him not even knowing what a familiar was, and that was something that Dean fans were really angry about.
Yeah, and I mean, it's a real problem with Dean because it's kind of, I feel like it's a misunderstanding. People get confused between being, educated as in, like, academically educated as opposed to just being intelligent. And, like, Dean is intelligent, he just never went to college, and that's no reason to dumb him down. It's not like Sam is the brain and Dean is the brawn. It's really not...
I hate that, really.
Yeah, I really don't like that.
I feel like whenever I hear that argument, I just really don't know. I don't get where people see that. I've never seen Dean as the dumb one, because it's not. Yeah, he doesn't know everything about the supernatural world because he doesn't spend all his time researching like Sam does. But the stuff he does know about, he really knows about it. And I sit there and I hear him talking sometimes, and I have no idea what he's talking about.
Yeah.
But
I think he knows a lot about chemistry and, like, explosives or something, and just stuff that Sam doesn't even know. And Sam, even in season 7, I think he asked about like computer knowledge that Frank taught him, and Dean was really skilled in that. He could really pick it up, and just. I don't get why people even think that he could be dumb in any way. It's just, he picks up a lot of stuff. I mean, just something that I don't even understand. It's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, we were saying how much we love Writer Dean, and just a quick fic rec, if no one's read it yet, you need to go read Point Pleasant, because that has, like, amazing Writer Dean in it. It's fantastic.
oh my gosh, he is. I love Dean in Point Pleasant.
He's fantastic.
That was seriously one of my favorite fan fiction with Dean.
I still need to read it. You should.
Yeah, you should read it. It's fantastic, and it's just just Dom Kaz as the police officer as well. So it's just it's fantastic. Love it.
I died reading that fic.
Oh, I died. I got terrified. I was actually.
It's like one of these fics that, like, really, where you get really scared.
Yeah.
It was really amazing.
I feel like someone should really show that to TPTB, this type of fics, because, when people hear about, the possibility of Dean and Cass being together in canon, they're like, oh, but you just want to turn Supernatural into a rom-com. It's like, are you kidding? You can put romance in a story that'll scare you shitless.
It was fantastic.
Like, I felt so confused when I was reading that fic, because one minute you're reading this really hot scene, and then, like, the next minute you're, like, about to pee your pants because they're scaring the crap out of you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the scene out on the road, and he's out on the road, and it's absolutely terrifying. And the voice comes through on the radio, and I'm just like, if that came on Supernatural, I would be out of the room so fast. I'd be terrified, absolutely terrified. So yeah, they need to do that sort of thing.
Someone should take inspiration from fandom.
They should.
Totally.
They should, but apparently they're not allowed to do it. Oh, it won't let me post. I'm trying to post the link to people, but it's not working. Hang on, let me just...
Chain to a Comet is the writer, I think, the
Yeah, I've got the link. You'll have to take the space out of it, but there it is. There. So everyone should go read that. That's my weekly fic rec. Go read it. It is absolutely fantastic, especially if you like a bit of Don Cass and Dean being handcuffed, and it's great. It's great. Just go do it. I'll post the link again towards the end. It's just there. I just post it up. So yeah, but yeah, just so everyone knows, it is illegal for the writers to read fan fiction. They're not allowed because they can be done for copyright or something. So I don't know. It's a shame.
I'm pretty sure if the writers like message the authors of fanfiction, the authors of fanfiction would just freak the hell out and be like, "Yes, use whatever you want.
Just
Do
take
it now."
it. Just take it. Just make it canon. So yeah, it's a shame they can't read fan fiction because they would learn so much, and it would just be.
I think they kind of have this misconception that we're always writing porn and nothing else, and just No.
It's a horrible misconception. I mean, I write fantastic porn, but that isn't all I write. So,
I can't write porn, so I kind of have to like depend on my story being really good.
Right. I think I have one more question written down before we take a few from the chat. I haven't read this, but if you guys have you guys read The Winchester Family Business by Dean discussion? The reasoning of many doubters seem to be the I don't see it and they're just teasing the fangirls. But I've also seen if they were a couple, it would take up too much screen time, Sam would get neglected, it would turn the duo into a trio and fundamentally change the show, which seems to belie a lack of imagination to me. Can you explain why these concerns aren't valid? Does someone want to tackle this?
I can.
Oh, Shannon, do you want to go for it?
I can tackle like one part, and then I can like give you guys some other parts. With the whole duo becoming a trio, I honestly do not see why that would mess up the show at all. I think it would really sort of help improve more on the show by seeing a sort of dynamic, not just between Dean and Cass, but between Sam and Cass. You know, if like Jared would stop like trolling Misha during their scenes. I feel like if they could I feel like the show would benefit a lot by having that sort of third person that's not Sam and it's not Dean. They have their own way of doing things and their own thoughts and opinions. I think that would definitely improve and not mess up the show at all.
Yeah.
It would improve the dynamic that's already in the show.
I think they also proved that like episodes from Castiel's point of view are really, really good. I mean, I think it would be even better if they like introduce Kevin and Benny into this kind of dynamic and show even like their point of views. I think that's really interesting because people I suspect that they get bored just hearing the same kind of issues between Sam and Dean, and they don't cover the issues that, for example, Cass and Sam have, or even Dean and Cass. It's just that's why episode 20 of season 6 is like my favorite episode, because we see Castiel's point of view, and that's really amazing. And just I wish we would have more episodes like that.
Yeah, and if I could just get into the I don't see it reasoning. The thing is, when it comes to homo-romantic subtext, the majority of the casual audience doesn't see it because we live in a heterosexist society and we are basically taught from our childhood to perceive a man and a woman as a potential couple and a man as friends, no matter how close they are. So really, for people, especially for straight people, watching I don't see it argument isn't really valid to me to begin with, because we are taught not to notice it. We are trained not to notice it, and it's like Shannon's mom. If any of you listened to the previous podcast who didn't notice any kind of subtext when it came to Dean's sexuality until they really started to try and make it blatant. And the whole they're just teasing the fangirls thing, yeah, queer baiting is generally a thing, but their teasing the fangirls is really no reason to discourage people from, thinking that they're going to try something and from supporting it, because they do need visible support for them to try something. They do need to see a response from the fandom, because they need to somehow ensure that, they're going to get ratings and, it's going to go well. So saying, oh, they're just teasing the fangirls, no one should support it to begin with, is really no way to help things good happen in this direction.
And I think what kind of is disturbing that people even say, oh, they're just teasing fangirls, and like it's totally okay for these people to just think, yeah, it's okay if the writers just tease the fangirls, if it continues like that, it's just fan stuff, and we shouldn't care about that. But we kind of need this visibility right now. Yeah, if they ignore it until season 10, if nothing happens, I mean, that would really be queer baiting, and I don't know if I don't even want to think about it, because
so the thing is,
sorry, did you guys see the ask I got in my inbox a couple of days ago about the difference between if they were queer baiting and if they're being serious?
I remember that we discussed this in the first broadcast.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, I responded to it basically, I think if they had been queer baiting, they would have made it more obvious. Like with Wincest queer baiting, they do these very obvious brother moments that can
it's always jokes. It's basically always like, yeah, we think they're gay, but they're not gay actually, and haha, please laugh now.
Yeah, look at the gay, but they're not doing that. It's, very subtle, sort of Dean standing a bit closer to Cass, and they're wasting a lot of money and time on parallels and, these extra scenes with them, the scene where Dean talked to Cass, and, it's just, they're spending too much time on it, and they're being too careful with it.
Too many parallels, especially.
Yeah.
They're sprinkling the gay on a little too carefully for it to be, queer baiting. I agree.
Queer baiting's in your face, really, isn't it? It's it's sort of like
people always expect you should laugh at this moment, because it's just jokes for people and nothing more. And that's why I think season 8 is doing great, because they didn't do. I don't think if I remember any kind of scene like having a blatant queer baiting moment. Perhaps I don't know. There was maybe some Wincest stuff, but I don't.
They did a lot of really good moments between Dean and Cass that are very sincere and that read as like legitimate steps to developing their relationship further. Now, of course, we're not psychic, we don't know what they're going to do with it further, but the way they've been handling things so far is much more reminiscent of just building a good storyline than just to try get some cheap attention.
Yeah. And someone pointed out we haven't really had any big no homo moment. I mean, we thought, with Ellie, we thought we was going to get a massive no, screw you, this is, straight Dean, macho Dean.
Straight.
Yeah, look at macho Dean, he just gets the cowgirl and makes do the cowgirl. But no, it didn't happen. And I was so proud of the writers for doing that.
I was happy. I was so scared. I mean, we had so many people refusing to watch this episode because they were so scared that something like that would happen, and then we would have.
I think it needs to be addressed that even while we had canonized Dean as bisexual, and even if I want personally for him to be showcased as a bisexual, no homo moments are still a thing, because the majority of the casual audience do not account for the option of bisexuality. They either think that Dean is gay or that Dean is straight, and people right now think that Dean is straight. So if they show Dean flirting with a guy and then sleeping with a girl, no one in the audience is going to think, oh, he's probably bisexual. People who are aware of it would think, oh, okay, that he's straight. Yeah. So before they go, it would be ideal in terms of representation in that sense for them to, if they want to show him doing something more blatant with women, they should show him doing something more blatant with men too, because that's really the only way to kind of push people into seeing them as a bisexual, because people will try to kind of avoid that.
Yeah, and I think they handled it really well actually. With the flirting with Aaron, and then the not so much flirting with Ellie, it sort of lays the ground for a very nice coming out for Dean if they are going down the bisexuality route.
Yeah, but they really need to make it more visible. I would really like to see a scene where some guy kind of hits on him, or even if they kiss, or maybe we had that. See, I think someone posted something like a guy from the past coming on to Dean and just kind of revealing that he had something going on.
Yeah.
I mean, I had absolutely no problem seeing this kind of thing.
I mean, I wouldn't have a huge problem with, say, some guy being a bit forward and, sort of misreading Dean and sort of trying to kiss him, and then just Dean's reaction after suggesting that, hey, that wasn't so bad.
They need to do a hunt where they have to frequent a gay bar.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that would be so perfect.
It would be great.
Purgatory.
Yeah, I mean,
it would be both hilarious and enlightening to see how Dean would react to constantly having to be around that atmosphere.
Yes,
and if the writers really went for it, they could kind of write how he sort of feels a little bit more at home than he should, and he starts freaking out to Sam about it.
Yeah.
And the thing is, it would be really important from the queer point of view, because I don't know if anyone else feels like it, but they probably do. When you're queer and you're surrounded by straight people all the time, the first time you get friends who are also queer, and the first time you get into an environment where there's a lot of queer people, you just blossom. You feel so at home because suddenly you feel so much more free and relaxed, and that thing, it really helps you come to terms with your sexuality. The first time I got a friend, like in my group, a group mate who's also queer, and we started, we got really close, it was a completely amazing experience, and if Dean would just have something like that, it would be so important.
Yes, he would identify with someone, and he would really feel at home, and that's why I think he would even enjoy Purgatory. Just
I mean, quite a nice scenario would maybe be him taking Cass to the bar as well, and how terrified Cass is about bars, and and Dean would have to calm him down.
I feel like the only way Dean would realize that he feels so comfortable is if he met someone in the bar that sort of reminded him of himself. Someone who's really kind of the mechanic sort of person, who's really basically an out version of Dean. Someone who's not afraid, who basically can hit on a guy the way Dean can hit on a girl and be okay with it, and it sort of helps Dean realize.
Be a role model for him, absolutely.
Yeah. It would be amazing. It would be amazing because queer people really do queer youth definitely do seek kind of role models like that. Mm-hmm. And Dean isn't very young, but in terms of sexuality, he's kind of young when it comes to just coming to terms with it at such an age,
I just had another really great idea.
Saying I need to be a writer.
You do, but I just had a great idea. I mean, what if Dean took Cass to the gay bar on a hunt, and then sort of a guy starts hitting on Cass, and Cass just takes it fine because obviously he doesn't really care, and Dean's just like, "Whoa, what?" And then
whoa, stop, mine.
Why? Flirt with me instead.
Oh my gosh!
Be.
Sorry, we all just crashed then.
Yeah, Shannon, you go.
I was just I really want, Matt, could you say what you said again? Because I got sort of, man. Could you say what you said again?
What my headcanon thing?
Mm-hmm.
That Cass would get flirted with in a gay bar, and he would sort of be fine with that because, he's comfortable with himself and his sexuality. Actually, I think Cass is perfectly sort of aware there. And, Dean would just sort of freak out a little bit because, this is just too easy for Cass. And, he doesn't want Cass to be flirted with by some dude, so then you get sort of Dean muscling in, maybe. That'd be kind of cool.
I'd love Dean to just wrap his arm around and just be like, "Come on, honey, let's go."
Oh, God.
and then Cass would get really confused and be like, "Dean, what are you doing?" And then Dean would try to just brush it off, but then Cass would just get really sort of suspicious about it later, and it'd just be just an amazing little interaction between them.
Oh, but then what if, like, later on at maybe at a restaurant or something, Cass does the same back, just sort of puts his hand around Dean and just says, "Come on then, honey," and just leaves.
Oh,
That'd
God.
be amazing.
Yes.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Do you have any more questions stored, by the way? Because I've run out now.
Yeah, I do think we've run out of the ones that we had from the previous broadcasts.
But I did see one pop up actually that I wanted to talk about is the recurring actors in this season and how curious it is, because aren't we on, is it something like 20 something, is it, or something, recurring actors? 22 recurring actors. So
Oh, yeah.
what do you think?
Yeah.
You guys,
You know, yeah?
Are you there?
are y'all
I
noticing
hear you.
that the thing's sort of messing up? Kind of. Are you hearing that?
Yeah, I'm hearing that.
What are we meant to be hearing? I can't hear it.
Like I'm sort of hearing this sort of staticky sometimes when some of y'all talk. So I'm just wondering if I'm the only one or not.
Oh, it
No,
keeps coming down.
I am hearing it a little bit sometimes, yeah.
But it's just
I think we'll just work through it. Yeah, it's not a lot. It's probably someone's internet connection. So, so what do we think about the recurring actors? Then?
Actors, yeah. Whether
I heard
it's
that they don't have that many actors in Vancouver. But like I heard that they just it's kind of normal that they had some characters like appearing in season 7 who also appeared like in season 2. I don't know. It's a little bit suspicious. I mean, 22 is quite a lot.
It's a very high number for one season.
yeah.
I'm being very optimistic, and I'm thinking it might be because it's a lot easier to get old people who have been on the show than it is to just constantly audition for these new parts. So I'm sort of latching on to that instead of it being sort of
Massive
reminder
subplot?
that this could very well be a dream.
Yeah.
It's a horrible idea, but
I don't want it. It's just
I don't want it. No.
yeah, 8-second episode must be real.
yeah, or
But that hug needs to be real. It's just, please.
yeah. I mean, it could be just a slightly altered reality. I mean, I said maybe they're sort of agents that have been sent by Naomi to keep an eye on them or something. It's just, it could be an altered reality, drawing from their memories. Maybe these images of other people are implanted in their minds, so they're
Oh, God.
being drawn.
I hope it's not that, but, I mean, again, Carver's quote about nothing is what it seems is still haunting me.
I know.
He said it before the season began, and I'm still thinking about it. What
But wasn't he referring to the first part of season 8, like just kind of this perception thing? But I'm not really sure if you refer to the second part.
And what did he mean by nothing? Because the only thing that wasn't as it seemed was like Dean's memories, because we all knew from the start that Cass was being manipulated. And it was kind of really obvious that, there was something wrong with Dean's memories. Then, what is everything? What do you mean nothing is the way it seems? Everything was the way it seems except for that.
They confirmed that Amelia is real, but they never confirmed that Benny is real.
No. Oh, God.
Whoa.
It's just like, it's so ominous, isn't it? It's really, really ominous. It's terrifying. It's just...
I have no idea what this season... Like, with the other seasons, you've always known what it was going to be about from, like, the very beginning. But with this season, it's such a wild card. Have you noticed that?
Yeah.
I have no idea how this season's going to end or what the overall arc of this season's actually going to end up being. Like, there's really no big bad or anything.
They said that there would be no big bad, like, for this season, and I think, I'm not sure about next, but they said that just Crowley would be, like... This more of an enemy, but they never said that there would be like this whole big enemy like in season 5, Lucifer or something like that. That's what they confirmed.
Yeah,
That scares me.
I've just got a real thing for Crowley, by the way. I just really want some more Crowley in my life.
Oh, same. Every time I think of them killing Crowley, my reaction is like, no!
I used to really love Crowley, but I think that they've really done a good job in making him so evil this season.
I know, I love it. Because he was always sort of this sort of grey area, wasn't he? He wasn't sure what he was playing at, but I just love now that he's just he's just like, yeah, I'm the king of hell. I'm just gonna snap this girl's neck because I can.
And I love it. I love it because like he was only nice to the Winchesters in the past seasons because he needed them.
Yeah.
Now he realizes they're against him, so it's just like time to go full evil on these denim-clad nightmares.
Yeah. It's just like, I mean, that's what I always liked about Meg, was that Meg used to use them when she needed them, and that's why I didn't like when they sort of tried to redeem her, because I absolutely adored her as a villain, and she was like one of my favourite villains. She was amazing. So
I hate Meg.
You too. Sorry, but I
have
hate
never had any love for that skank.
oh
my god.
Well, can I just say,
Shannon.
yeah, can I just say I didn't like Meg number 2. I did like the first Meg.
Meg number 1 was perfect, but
She was
with
amazing.
Meg number 2, I think in season 5 I still liked her, but when she started this whole thing with Cass, I got really annoyed. Sorry, but I'm getting really jealous on Dean's behalf, and just
Same.
no, and no.
Yeah, in that episode, I was just sat there like, no. I was just like, no, just don't do it.
Doing your best impression of the no, cat.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like, no.
I really did not see the point in the whole Meg and Cass kiss. It made no sense to me. Like, I'm not trying to hate on people who ship Meg Steele, because you ship what you want. I don't care. I just don't see how I didn't see it, because demons to Cass are like seriously like it's I can't explain it. I hate when I can't explain things because I just sound like I'm babbling on.
Can I put in a bit of perspective if you want? They played on the old idea of an angel and a demon and forbidden love and the amount of sexual tension that was there because Cass just was disgusted with Meg, and then this kiss came out of nowhere and they didn't even really build it up, and I was just sort of like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
and
I
can
mean-
I say something?
Yeah.
Just something real quick. When I was referring to a skank for people who might start hating on me because I called her a skank, I meant her as a character because she killed Ellen and Joe, and that's a very skankish quality.
Yeah, that is one big reason. That's why I never understood the whole romance thing, because I was like, you know, this bitch killed Joe and Ellen. You don't
And
just go
Cass was
stalk-
friends with Joe and Ellen.
Yeah.
I mean, I just don't get it. Like, why would he care about someone who like caused Dean and Sam pain and then also killed Ellen and Joe? Or I don't know, maybe the writers forgot, but it's like a serious issue for me. And this is
This
I
is
mean,
why
it's
it
the
didn't
right-
work for me at all when they tried to give her a moral compass, because her character worked and made sense when she was evil, but then they tried to kind of hint that she still didn't really have a moral compass and was using them, but they went kind of overboard with also trying to like make her more, make her nicer. It just got really confusing in that sense, and it went into the gray area way more than I wanted it to. It didn't work for me anymore.
No, we're getting quite a lot of lag. I apologise.
I can't hear you. I really can't hear you guys very
I
well.
can't hear you at all. Just
I'm sorry. It must
Yeah,
be
it's
my
lagging.
internet. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh no, not the lag. Lag. Oh, I hate my internet.
Stop it, lag.
I think. Are we going again? It stopped doing the loading thing for me. I think.
I can hear you again.
Okay, I think.
Yeah,
we're
I
good
can
now.
hear you too. Yeah, I think
we're
we're
good.
good.
Sorry about that,
I
guys.
can't really. I can hear you, but yeah, lag.
For the record, I'm recording this on my computer, and I can hear the voices fine, so it should have recorded absolutely fine. So if you do miss anything, don't worry, you can catch up later. So we're good again. We're good. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, someone did say though that the Meg Steele kiss was really hot, and actually it was kind of hot, even though I had super jealous feelings from it.
I was like Dean in this moment. I was like, no.
I can make it feel better for you again. Okay, how about Dean was imagining Cass doing that to him? There you go. Hands in his hair, pinning him up against the wall. There we go. That makes everything better. Just imagine that.
Yeah.
My own version of Dean. Can we get me my own version of Dean?
What, like a mini?
Aw,
Dean? Just a pet
Shannon.
Dean. You can keep him in your closet because you know that's where he lives.
You thought he meant pet Dean? I thought like my soulmate like Dean is to Cass.
No, just have a pet Dean. Who doesn't want a pet Dean? You can pet him and love him and keep him and make a nice little bed for him and he can nest in the corner. It's fine.
Then he can make me burgers and tell me how much he's nesting in his new room.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That's just too cute. I've just got this image now of just, you know how cats sort of do the little paddling thing and then walk in a circle and lay down?
Yeah.
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 I've just got that in my head now. So, yeah, it's fine. Anyway, moving on again. People wanted us to talk about the build-up to episode 19.
Can someone explain to me what's all this with episode 19? Because I've either been really sick or I've just been completely busy with getting my makeup work done from school that I haven't been able to really know what's going on.
It's basically a lot of, oh wow, you're gonna love this script sort of stuff.
Yeah, they're hyping it up a lot on Twitter. They're just all talking about it. Oh, the script is so amazing. A lot of people are gonna be happy. And then this one.
We had like a tweet from someone, and there was this. I don't know. There was this list of all the people that would appear in 819. Was it? And there was Benny. Benny was definitely there.
I think it was Adam Glass.
Yeah, I'm not. I mean, they that picture with everyone on the wall, and they thought it was from episode 19, but then they weren't so sure. But my God, if that's the cast for episode 19, I'm just like I'm excited.
Could someone link me the picture?
I shall try to find it if I've got.
I posted it on the website in the spoiler section. Oh, did I? I don't know. Probably did.
I'm not sure.
And in case all you guys are wondering, in case all of you listeners are wondering, I'm probably really behind on supernatural news in general because I was sick with the flu for a while, and I'm still recovering and getting all my stuff done for school. So if I seem sort of out of the loop, I apologize.
That's fine.
No, it's okay.
No problem.
Right, I have the picture here. This is what I found earlier. I'm not sure how I'm going to display this to people. Oh, I know, I'll save it. Hang on. Give me a second. Pictures. Save. It's the best way to do it. Right.
I love you guys in the chat. Y'all are so nice.
Right, it should be coming up in a minute. This is the picture that I saw on Tumblr earlier. And you can... There's no Misha on the picture. We think he's just sort of off the
And
side.
Misha's still in LA, and they started filming this episode, so I don't know. Maybe he will come back, or maybe he won't, but... Yeah.
I just really think he's off the screen because, I mean, come on.
I don't know. It's not really clear what episode it's from. The person who posted it was like not totally sure it was from episode 19, but I don't know. I really don't. It's not coming up for you guys.
Maybe Misha just told them to keep his name off the list because he wanted it to be a surprise, like one of the people from chat was saying.
Yeah, but I mean, the person who tweeted it was asked to remove it immediately, but someone got hold of it. It's up on the live chat now, so...
Because the fandom misses nothing.
No, the fandom misses nothing. It's like Misha tweeted all that about Jensen, and then, quite quickly removed it. So, I don't know. I hope that's the cast, because you've got Kevin in there, and Benny, and Crowley, and we can't quite make out the rest.
I think Dean's ended up killing Benny.
I'm kind of grey on Benny. I'm not really that bothered what happens.
I like Benny. I love Benny. Sorry.
I love Benny too. I love Benny a lot.
And his accent, I'm sorry, but oh god, it's just.
I thought that he was a really good character for Dean, but then with the way that they had Dean sort of ending their friendship, and the way that Benny sort of acted after what happened in that episode,
it's really predictable with the whole storyline of him like going off the rails and just drinking human blood, and people suspect that Dean might kill him, but yeah, it's predictable, so I hope it doesn't happen.
I hope it doesn't happen either, because it will be so typical. Like, they're just pulling another Ruby kind of there or something like that.
It's like, well, Sam got tricked by a supernatural character, so Dean's got to have it too, and it's just...
Well, it's also kind of funny because it's like 4 seasons after. It's like a second season 4, only Dean version. That's how I always saw it with Benny.
Someone just said someone thinks that Sam will be the one to kill Benny, which is also could happen.
But then that would bring up so much wank between Dean and Sam, and I don't think I can deal with wank between those two.
I think they do it just for the viewing. It's just for the Wincest fan service again, because they seem to like it when there's drama there.
I just don't get it, because, I mean, how much brothers drama have we seen by this point?
It's the same, like, one brother lying to the other and, like, hiding things, and then just resolving one brother going away, then coming back, and just, thank you.
To me,
but no.
I got really mad at both Dean and Sam. I got really mad at Sam because I couldn't see why he got so mad at Dean for helping Benny, because Benny seriously basically saved Dean's life.
Yeah.
When 4 seasons ago, he was drinking demon blood from someone who ended up betraying them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't see that. It made me really mad at Sam, and I hate it when I'm mad at Sam.
I never identified with Sam, but I don't know, I always thought it would be some sort of jealousy issues, and Dean fans always say it's because Sam wants to have Dean all for himself.
Yeah.
And he kind of doesn't like it when he's, like, connecting with other people, always gets suspicious, but then it doesn't work with Cass. I mean, he is his friend too, and I don't get it.
Personally, I just don't want Sam to be like that, because I think Sam is a lot better than that. I think Sam is better than being the kind of, like, jealous little brother or whatever. I think Sam is way beyond that, and I always see Sam as very mature.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Although, can I just bring up something that really, really annoyed me in the last episode was just where Dean said that he trusted Sam, and then Sam right out went and lied to him. And I was just like, why won't you just tell your brother what's wrong? And it's just so infuriating, because Dean would help him.
Yeah, and honestly...
we knew that from spoilers. We knew that he would, like, get tuberculosis or whatever, and it's just, I don't know. And I think Singer said something like there would be a new conflict, and Dean won't know about it, and just, I thought it was predictable as well.
Yeah.
So.
I still think it's
nothing new.
On the one hand... Yeah, Shannon, you go.
I was going to say something that was going to make everyone really mad at me. I was just going to say I still think it's kind of funny that in season 4 he was keeping the fact that he was drinking demon blood, but now he's keeping the fact that he's coughing up blood.
You're bringing it back, aren't you? Shannon, that post is going to haunt you forever. Forever.
I know, I still see people reblogging it and calling me Satan.
Everyone's going to know you're Satan.
It's horrible.
Someone actually... reblogged it with the exorcism under a picture.
Yes, Shannon, you're like in Mulan, and you're like Shan Yu, and everyone's like, now all of Tumblr knows you're Satan. But on the other hand, I kind of understand Sam, and I feel for him in that scene, because if they are taking their relationship in the good direction, and if they are taking their relationship somewhere I would want it to go, I feel like Sam would be afraid that Dean would just straight up go into his caretaker mode again and try to prevent Sam from doing the trials again.
Them, like wiping away the smoke.
Yeah. Because I feel like if they're gonna take their relationship down the route of progress, I feel like Dean needs to start believing in the fact that Sam really can just do it on his own.
Yeah.
And for that to happen, Sam needs to do it on his own. And I think Sam is thinking that too, that he needs to finally manage to do something like that and come out of it alive without Dean, like running after him and trying to save him. And if that does happen, Dean could kind of get over it, finally understand that Sam can just live on his own and do his own thing and just
be like independent, like this brother. and like stand on his own 2 feet, and I would really love to see that because I'm tired of caretaker Dean. Just
I kind of feel like Dean's sort of like Cass in the sense Cass always needs someone to worship, and Dean always needs someone to take care of. So I feel like he's going to transfer his caretaker mode from Sam to Cass if Cass gets more episodes.
Yeah, but at the same time, I do feel that Dean actually really enjoys when people take care of him too, but he has repressed that due to the caretaker role that was thrust upon him. But if you kind of analyze Dean a little, if you see him interacting with his mom when we do see him like in heaven, you can see that
someone touches him like really,
he really enjoys it. He really enjoys it when someone takes care of him.
Although, can I just say one thing I did just notice that has just really started to bug me in the last 10 minutes is it's always Dean has to go find Sam again, and it's like, you know, Sam disappears, Dean has to go find him, then Sam usually slams the door in his face, and I'm just like, why can't it be the other way around just for once, so we see how much
like for once
Sam
Dean leaving Sam and just like, no, I'm tired, I don't want to like stay with you and have these issues, I just want to do my own thing. And I would really love to see that, and it just really annoys me that it's always the same and he's always running after him. Just no.
Yeah, it's just I just want to see the other way around. I just want to see how much Dean means to Sam. I just want to see that. Because it's always like, oh, look how much Dean loves Sam, you know, look how much he looks after Sam.
Takes care of his brother, and I mean, I think that's why fans were really angry when they heard that Sam wouldn't save Dean, and like trying to get him out of purgatory. It was like this huge issue, and I think we still kind of don't understand why the writers went in that direction. They could have done that. They could have let Sam like save Dean, and people wouldn't question him and wouldn't like suspect that Sam doesn't care about Dean at all. And like, I think the hardcore Dean fans, they say all the time that Dean cares more about Sam than Sam cares about Dean, and I don't want to believe that because
I don't think it's so much that Sam doesn't care as much about Dean. It's just that I really think he had no idea what he was supposed to do. I mean, generally whenever Dean disappeared like that, Sam always knew where he was, like when he went to hell or when he was dying in season 1. But now but when Sam disappeared, Crowley just said that to him, and he really had no idea what to do. I like to think that he maybe tried to brainstorm as to where Dean could go, but they knew nothing about Leviathans. They knew, and if he somehow managed to find out that Dean went to Purgatory, they knew nothing about Purgatory. Besides that, you would need all 3 of those types of blood and a full moon.
Yeah, and it's just
so really.
Yeah, and
there was no way for Sam to.
He said his word imploded, so yeah.
It's not that. I don't think it's that Dean cares about Sam more than Sam cares about Dean. I think it's that they were taught to basically. How should I say? They were taught to show their caring differently. It's just that Dean was thrust with his caretaker role, and he was always taught to show his caring kind of aggressively, as in, protect Sam.
It's like this parental children role where you take care of your child, but your child wants to be independent, and like that's the whole dynamic of Sam and Dean. I always thought it was more like parent and child rather than brother, and it's just
Well, Sam didn't have that, and he is kind of more into kind of more aware of expressing his caring kind of in that non-active manner, because I mean they're 2 adult guys. They don't need mummies, They don't need daddies, they don't need all that stuff at this point. And Sam is just kind of more used to that dynamic. I feel like while Dean is still kind of trying to recover from his caretaker role because a lot of his trauma is connected to that. I couldn't save him, I couldn't save Sam, but I couldn't save Cass, but I couldn't do this, I couldn't do that, and it's just, I think it's really affecting Dean and his perspective on their relationship. This is why I think Sam is trying to do what he's trying to do right now, like trying to get Dean out of that role.
Well, I mean, can I just go back to the episode Faith, where Dean was sick and Sam was trying to save him? and that showed how much Dean meant to Sam, and we know how much Sam loves Dean, but they never show it to us, and that's what's bothering me. And I think I would like to have seen Dean do the tablet, the trials, because then we would have seen Sam caring for Dean for once, and I think that would have been a nice change.
But they said he was suicidal, so basically who would fail because he wouldn't care about his life, he would just throw him, everything away, and that's what Sam tries to prevent, and that's... Yeah. I get why they let Sam do the trials, but it still bothered me. I mean, because it's like the super special power thing, and I think people are really tired of that, and just they want this kind of mythology arc for Dean, for Dean to prove he can do something on his own and overpower someone or something like that.
I feel like next season we might get that though, because I mean it's like we talked about in the first broadcast and like we've talked about in group. I honestly wasn't surprised when Sam got the Trials myth arc. I really wasn't. I wasn't mad or anything because Sam's always been the hellish one. Not in a bad way. Like he's not evil when I say he's hellish, but he's more connected with hell. I think either at the end of this season or in the beginning of next season, Dean's myth arc is going to be heavily involved with Castiel and the angels.
And that would be very dramatic, like when he's destined to close the gates of heaven or something like that, and then automatically just trapping Cass in heaven. And I mean, whoa! I think that would be a really great storyline for him.
Yeah. I mean, I've always liked how Dean was connected to heaven when he's more of the darker character. I really always liked that. So.
Yeah, and Sam is the slight character. Yeah, Sam is the slight and gentle character connected to hell. I mean, that's just... I like that, yeah.
It's a very subversive dynamic.
I feel like Dean's going to end up being the one to find God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See that,
I think that's what it's going to lead to. I think they're going to find the angel tablet, and it's going to have something to do with God. And then a major part of Dean's arc is going to be him actually having to do everything he can to find God.
That would be really interesting. That would be really interesting.
Interesting also for Cass. I mean, just Dean finding his father, and I'd love to see that.
I feel like part of what Naomi is, it's sort of a witness protection program for God, and that's why she's so afraid of them finding all of the angel tablets, because I think it won't just reveal. I think it'll give them a way to find God, genuinely find Him, a way to summon Him, and that's really scary. And I think part of Naomi's job is to prevent that, and that's why she has Castiel watching the Winchesters. So when they do find the angel tablet, she can get it and hide it away to where Crowley will never get to it, to where no one will ever get to it.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah. That's interesting. I would really love to see that, because God is this kind of elusive character.
Chuck! No.
Chuck is a very elusive character in a dirty bathrobe. Anyway.
Okay.
People asking about Chuck now, actually, and can we please talk about Chuck for a while, because I'm super convinced that he is God.
And I think he isn't dead. That's why they mentioned him. I think when they mention someone, it's really important. That's why I think Chuck will definitely come back.
Definitely agree, because they didn't have to bring him up, but they did.
I actually had this sort of headcanon when I found out when there was that whole thing about Chuck being God. I actually think that prophets are sort of, they help spread the word of God and they help do God's bidding, but I also think that they are given this sort of power to be vessels to God.
Yeah. Oh, maybe.
So I'm thinking maybe Chuck was God, but Chuck himself wasn't. He was sort of just a vessel.
Yeah.
And I think if they find God, God's going to end up using Kevin as a vessel, and we're going to see Kevin God, and he's going to be like,
oh wow.
That's right, Gimadun. Me and you, we're connected.
No, I really do miss Chuck, and someone asked when they brought him up again. It was when Castiel came back. They were talking about the prophets, and they brought up Chuck, and sort of, what happened to Chuck. And Cass said he must be dead. But he didn't really die, he just sort of disappeared while dressed in white, and that's just... Yeah.
There's also this thing. I think it's even in the Bible where basically prophets get kind of directly transferred to heaven.
Yeah.
I think that might have happened, but that doesn't negate the God vessel theory.
It's
because that could have happened also.
Yeah, and it's like
I feel like he definitely God sort of. I feel like God, whoever he uses as a vessel, he probably takes them right to heaven because that's what I think. That's how I think it is, and you can't.
It also,
I'm not proven wrong until they show it on the show.
Yeah, and it actually makes sense because a God vessel would know way too much.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But I mean,
they could let him walk around.
It's sort of like why did Chuck have to leave? I mean, maybe it's because he was only meant to tell that one part of the story.
And maybe he was just to sort of give this message and then fulfill his destiny or something like that. And now it's Kevin's turn to do that, maybe?
Yeah, maybe.
Probably.
It's really, there's so many theories that are sort of possible for it. Yeah. And can I just say, someone did ask earlier as well what we think happened to Jimmy Novak, and I honestly think he probably moved on in Swan Song when Castiel got blown up.
Same, yes, absolutely.
Yeah, same. And I mean, the time Cass was in the hospital and then Angie said that the doctor thought he was brain dead. Yeah, that is to me pretty much proof that Jimmy isn't there, because I mean, when a body is brain dead,
they would have
it's
mentioned
empty.
it.
Yeah.
I like to think that Jimmy got to go to heaven, and that eventually Amelia got to go to heaven, and that they are eventually going to be reunited in heaven, so he could be with the daughter that he gave up his life for.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
See, I'm not always Satan, guys.
That is sort of hellish, though.
No, Shannon, you're always Satan. You're just deceptive.
Yeah, it's not fair.
In the classic Satanly manner.
Someone asked
I
when.
really didn't like Jimmy's wife.
Yeah, someone asked when Castiel was brain dead. I think it was when he woke up in the Valentine's episode, wasn't it? And he rang Dean and said he was brain dead. Which is curious. It suggests there's nothing in the body. When Castiel isn't in his body because he got expelled from his vessel after he saw off the angels. He put the sigil on himself. Yeah. So he was expelled. So.
Yeah, because I mean, an empty body is definitely, a brain dead body is definitely meant to be body just without a soul. Because if you remember when Ruby took on her second vessel, we had Ruby 2.0, and she took on a body that was lying brain dead in a hospital.
Yeah.
So that makes perfect sense that a brain dead body is just an empty vessel. So while Cass wasn't there, the vessel was empty.
Yeah. I do like the theory that Jimmy has moved on now, because obviously he didn't really enjoy being a vessel. So,
yeah. I don't really think anyone would enjoy being a vessel, save for that guy.
But I would like to see Dean being a vessel. Perhaps
that would be really interesting.
Maybe like Cass once or something, entering his body.
Oh, that would be fantastic.
That would be really interesting, actually, because I mean, I would be really interested if we got some sort of insight on the kind of communication that happens between, the vessel and the entity, the angel.
And because of the bloodline, I think. So maybe Dean's vessel would sort of explode or something. It's just his body,
No,
I don't think it would ever happen. I mean, I'm still angry that we never got Michael Dean. It's just.
Oh, I am angry about that, but
Michael would have been so badass.
Oh, it would, but when an angel takes the wrong vessel, there's a gradual sort of. It deteriorates until it blows up.
Like with Nick.
Yeah, like with Nick.
You know what really disappointed me
What?
with season 5? We never really got that much Michael, even though he was just as big of an antagonist as Lucifer was.
And can I just say, he was such an asshole, and I loved that.
I loved it.
Until season 5, when I pictured Michael to be sort of, at least kind of understanding. I mean, I honestly like Lucifer more than I like Michael, because he was not as evil as everyone made him out to be.
Yeah.
But then Michael, he was just completely just dark, just evil. I saw him when he took over John, and he was just so much. there was so much evil. He had no compassion in him. Like, at least with Lucifer, you saw him at least a little bit regretful when he killed Gabriel, but when Michael killed Anna, he just vaporized her. There was nothing else.
No. And it's
Sorry,
terrible.
I got really into that when I talk.
Well, I did like how dark Michael was, and compared to Lucifer just showed so much compassion, but Michael was literally just obeying his dad's orders, really.
And Lucifer was sort of driven by his emotions. He could really feel and understand things, and I think Michael didn't.
No.
He just couldn't, and that's the difference.
Lucifer was just so full of grief and betrayal, and he's just really hurt, and he is just pure emotion, basically. I mean, he's everything that's meant to be wrong with humanity, isn't he? So, and just when he killed Gabriel, just how totally broken he was that he had to kill his own brother. Whereas when Michael, like you say, when Michael wiped Anna out, he just destroyed her and didn't think twice about it.
Yeah,
and, Michael. Like, part of the reason. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Michael is kind of the dutiful son here. It's kind of his parallel with Dean. I kind of feel like, Dean and Michael are obviously not too similar. They're not one and the same, and if anything, Dean is very emotional. But there's this thing where, Dean has with monsters. He's kind of getting over that now, but the whole, we're hunters, so we should kill monsters, so we kill monsters, kill that monster thing that was going on with him, especially in the early seasons. I felt like it was really a parallel with Michael, because Michael kind of feels the same, about killing Anna, about killing anyone else, we're angels, we should do our job, kind of.
Yeah.
I think part of the reason I didn't like Season 7 was because of the hallucination version of Lucifer. Something about that just really bothered me.
Yeah, I mean, I sort of...
The storyline was poorly done.
I feel like it ruined his entire characterization from Season 5. Because he was so cruel and just...
Yeah.
And in Season 5, you never really got that vibe of cruelty off him. You got this vibe of, I really hated what happened, and I really wish that it could have gone another way. But with this one, he was basically a demon.
Yeah.
And it bothered me.
Honestly, I liked both of them because I felt like it gave Lucifer these two different characterizations, but I also didn't feel like the Lucifer in Sam's head was actually that same Lucifer.
No.
It was Lucifer. It was just like this sort of projection of what happened in hell, but not really Lucifer.
And it kind of makes sense because there are all these sayings about, fighting your inner demons, the demons in your head, and I just felt that it was meant to reflect that a lot. Which it did.
Yeah.
I guess you're alright. See, now everyone's telling me, oh, that's because it was in his head. I know, guys, I'm sorry.
Yeah, they are a few, I think they're about 30 seconds behind us, so yeah, we did address that. We're good, we addressed it. But yeah, I wish we'd seen more of Lucifer while he was alive. I loved him as a character, and yeah. It's a shame.
I definitely would have liked to have seen more Michael.
Me too.
Definitely.
I think that whole storyline was not really balanced. I mean, they should have been treated equally in terms of importance, and it didn't happen at all. It's just Michael is gone, and Adam is gone, and yeah.
I'm glad you brought up Adam actually, because everyone is shouting at us to talk about Adam.
Talk about Adam. Everyone's gonna hate me if I talk about Adam.
Oh no.
Oh, talk about Adam.
Shannon, are you Satan again?
You guys, I have such an unpopular opinion about Adam.
Oh no.
Can we not, please? I really don't want to lose this little fan club I have right now.
No. Okay, we won't talk too much about Adam, but I just want to say that I don't really understand why he never got mentioned again.
I think they forgot that they had a brother, not the Sam and Dean, but the writers.
Yeah.
Who's Adam?
Yeah, who is this Adam? Adam who? What? No.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think, I think it is actually still eating at Dean a little bit. I think it's just another thing on Dean's list of things he hates himself for.
It is eating at Dean. Everything's eating at Dean. I feel like Dean is constantly carrying this weight on his shoulders, where he remembers every little thing that he's blaming himself for, and it's just constantly on him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, someone brought up something cool. You guys remember Jesse the Antichrist?
Yeah.
What the hell happened to him?
I don't know, because he was
He's in
like meant to be
Australia.
super powerful, wasn't he?
He is really interesting.
Yeah.
I feel like we really need to explore him more. Like what happened to him after the apocalypse.
You know what though? He would make an amazing villain. Like as he got older.
Yeah, I think he
make a really
would.
good villain. I think they should sort of bring him back as maybe a bit of a bad character.
I mean, it would be really interesting to see him brought back and sort of in this confrontation with Cass, because, well, Cass tried to kill him, and I mean, that would be really interesting to sort of see this, how he grew up. And
an amazing villain, or he would make an amazing great character as well.
Yeah.
Because his allegiance would always be kind of, it could always be questioned, and he could really kind of flip sides in that sense.
I'm sorry, someone just posted when Dean stubs his toe, he blames himself. That's probably the most accurate description of Dean I've ever heard.
Oh my gosh, Dean and I have something in common. Every time I run into a door, I run into a person, and it's the other person's fault. I always say I'm sorry, it's my fault.
You apologise to the door.
I do apologize. I do. I'll run into the door and I'll be like, oh, I'm sorry, and I'll completely forget that it's a door.
That's fantastic. Anyway, because we've got we have about 20 minutes left, I said I was going to read some fan fiction. So, do we want the mild porn, or do we want the fluff?
I don't know. I kind of feel like I feel kind of iffy about the porn, because we could get in trouble, because there could be 13-year-olds.
There's nothing explicit, I will say. It's just them naked. But
oh, okay.
Okay.
That's why I say mild. There's nothing really explicit there.
Dramatic reading, please.
Okay. There's such a split between fluff and porn. I can tell you now, the fluff will take me longer to read. The porn I will read dramatically. So. I don't know. Can I go with the fluff, because I really, really like my fluff. I really do.
Oh, I mean, sure. I don't mind either way.
I'll do the porn next time.
I'm not making any promises. If you read the fluff, I'm going to squeal.
Yeah, just feel free to randomly. You will squeal at the end. Can I just say, if you haven't read it already, you will squeal at the end. It's something I did upload to AO3. So, shall I get started then?
Yeah.
Right, off I
I'm kind of having fun reading the ~war porn that we're having in the chat right now.
Yeah, they're just like fluff porn, fluff porn. Is someone a dog? I can hear a dog. So yeah.
That was my dog.
Yeah. So are you sitting comfortably?
I am.
Okay, right. Then I shall begin. Okay. This is something I called Love Story, because it is. Okay. I'm gonna fail. Alright. Tell me a story, Grandad, Lizzie whispered, eyes large and blue as she gazed up into her grandfather's weathered face. He chuckled, a low rasp in his chest, and drew her closer where she sat on his knee. Of course. What story interests you today? He tidied up her neat little yellow dress with one hand, smoothing down the lapels around her neck gently. She wiggled a little and swung her legs, one tiny hand gripping at her granddad's plaid shirt. She bit her lip, eyes wide and round as she thought. Lizzie leaned up and cupped her hand around her grandfather's ear. A love story, she said in a hushed tone. Grandfather laughed and wrapped her up close in his arms. A love story, eh? She nodded, her dark curls bouncing on her head. He smoothed the mess of hair out of her eyes and rested his chin on top of her perfect little head as she rested against his chest. I know a good love story. He felt her shuffle and settle and close his eyes to begin his story. There was a man once, a long time ago, a man who thought he wasn't worth the clothes on his back. He had a brother, and that was all he had in the world. He fought bad things, the things that hide under your bed and in your closet. He paused as Lily gasped quietly. But we know how to keep those away, don't we? The little girl gripped at her small pendant around her neck, the best form of protection she could wear. She nodded and buried her face against her grandfather's familiar scent, earthy with hints of other things she didn't quite understand. He kept people safe, kept the evil away from everyone else. He never had a good life, our monster hunter, but he learned to love what he had. One day he got sent to a very bad place, a place of shadow and fire. It wasn't his fault he ended up there, he was just protecting his brother. What did he do? Did he get out? Lizzie gazed up with her large eyes and held her breath. He did, the old man said with a gentle smile. He did. You see, his love for his brother, for his family, burned so bright in his soul that he attracted someone very special, someone very powerful. He attracted an angel. I just had a little squeal. Lizzie's eyes popped even wider and her mouth hung open. An angel, a real angel. Her voice was barely above a whisper, and her grandfather lowered his voice to match. A secret for them to keep. A real angel, with wings like the night, eyes like the ocean, and a voice like thunder. Lizzie went silent, awestruck. The angel searched for him in a place of shadows, following the brightness of his soul until he found our hunter. Time passed different in this land, and the hunter was barely himself when the angel found him. It had been so many years, you see, that he had almost forgotten who he was. The angel wrapped him up in his wings and pulled him out of that place, burning a path with his light and grace until they were three. He pieced the man back together, piece by piece, until he was whole again. Lizzie wiggled in possibly closer, listening to each hushed word that was spoken. "You said this was a love story," she whispered. "It is," he replied softly. As soon as the angel lay a hand upon the hunter, he was lost for an eternity. He fell in love. Lizzie bit her lip and moved so she was sat facing her grandfather, clutching at his shirt eagerly. Did the hunter love him too? Of course he did, of course. He didn't know it at first, because our great hunter wasn't what you'd call the sharpest tool in the shed. He chuckled softly, and Lizzie joined in with her own little giggle. But he loved him so much. But times were hard, you see. His face fell a little, and he took in a long breath. Evil was everywhere in those days, and angels were never built to love. It was all too much for the angel, too much for him to handle. He lost his way. It was too late when the hunter found out that the angel was falling. It was too late to stop the bad things that happened. He watched the angel destroy himself because of the love he felt for the hunter, and oh, how his heart broke. But our hunter is never defeated, is he? Lizzie shook her head, messy hair flurrying around with the movement. He knew he had to help his angel. He just had to find out how. Through the darkest times he always kept faith, even after the angel hurt his brother and then disappeared for a very long time. Deep down he knew that one day the angel would return, that they could fix the wrongs. And then, one day, it finally happened. The angel returned and the hunter was happy again, except this was not his angel. The angel didn't remember who he was, and again the hunter felt his heart break. He wanted the angel to remember it all, but in the same he wasn't so sure it was a good idea. You see, he still thought he wasn't any good for anything. He still didn't think he deserved the angel's love. But he did, Lizzie gasped. He did deserve it, she said in a more hushed tone. Did the angel remember? Eventually, yes, but the hunter's joy didn't last long, as usual. You see, his brother was sick, and that the angel was partly to blame for it. The angel did his best to fix the hunter's brother, transferring the sickness to himself. It drove him mad, the old man said softly. But our hunter still loved him, and still cared for him. The hunter knew that maybe one day things would be okay. It was a long time before the angel was well enough to fight beside the hunter again, to rid the world of evil. When it came to a big fight, however, he stood beside the human he loved, and they went to battle together. They fought a wicked monster with big teeth and rotten breath, and they thought they had won. The monster had a trick up its sleeve, however, and as it died it took them with it to an endless land of lost souls that neither here nor there. Not destined for heaven or hell. Lizzie pressed a hand to her mouth, eyes large and wide. What did they do? She whispered, from behind her tiny fingers. Her grandfather reached up slowly, took her hand in his, cupping them between his own warm palms. They did what they did best. They fought together. It took a while for them to find each other again, but then they fought and they fought, searching for a way out of that place. But when they got to the gate that led back to this world, the angel was lost. Lizzie looked horrified, mouth open in a small O shape. Her grandfather continued gently. It takes more than a silly gate to keep an angel away from the one he loves. He returned to this world for another way, and finally found his hunter again. They even went through a lot after that, a lot of evil that two such as themselves should never face. But love always kept them together. Love always brought them back to each other. He rested his forehead against Lizzie's, his eyes sparkling with a distant joy. Are you telling stories again? A familiar voice broke their hushed exchange, and Grandfather looked up to see a tall, lean figure stood at the bottom of the porch. He grinned honestly at the messy dark hair and pale blue eyes to match Lizzie's. Uncle Cass, Lizzie gasped. Grandad was just telling me a love story. Of course he was, Cass said softly, moving up the steps fluidly before stepping past them. His hand brushed against Grandfather's shoulder in a light squeeze, and Lizzie rocked forwards again. Did they live happily ever after? She asked softly. Her grandfather moved closer, but had no idea why he bothered. Cass stopped at the door, hand hesitating over the door handle, a soft smile on his face. Of course they did, the old man whispered gently, green eyes shining. Of course they did. There you go.
I'm crying! This is why I can't read fluff, you guys.
Oh dear.
Am I the only one crying?
You're actually crying.
Oh my god, Shannon, I love you.
That was really good.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm glad you enjoyed it. So.
Okay. I'm good now.
Are you good? Are you good?
Yeah.
That's it then.
Okay.
Do you have anything else you want to discuss? Because our time is almost up. Other than how evil I am, apparently. So.
Can I do some shameless self-promotion?
Of course you can. Of course.
Oh, sure.
I've got one of the blogs on profoundbond.com, the live blogging one. I'm going to be posting weekly episode recaps. So if you guys want to read those, they are going to be updated every week, and hopefully they'll be to your liking.
If everyone just stops posting a second, you're all going crazy. I'm just posting the link, but you keep talking so much, you keep losing it. There's the link. Just grab it. Yes. So yeah, Shannon's doing his weekly updates now, which are obviously just fantastic. And I love them. I love your weekly updates. So.
And I'm doing spoilers.
Yeah, sure doing spoilers.
And I'm doing your thoughts.
Yeah.
There's major spoilers.
Oh, everyone's saying now porn. Do you want me to read out the minor porn before we go? Because
I don't know. Are you tired of reading? Can you do it?
I can do the porn if you want. It's not very long actually, so I could do it if you want. Hang on. Let me get it.
How's everyone?
Is everyone okay? Do you want me to read this?
Go ahead.
Okay, I'll read this then. This will definitely counteract the fluff feels. God, I hope you're ready for this one. Okay, you're sitting comfortably again, because I sure as hell am not.
I am.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Here we go again then, and then this will be the last one, and then we're gonna go. Okay? Gosh, you children, it's like story time.
We want some porn before bed.
Porn before bed. Here we go. It was weird being connected to someone by more than just flesh and bone. It was bizarre to feel that tug deep down at something that very personal, tucked away from harm, a part of you that you never knew existed. And yet Dean could feel Castiel wrapping around him, not just with his body but with his very being, and he was buried in heat and love and such a fierce possessiveness he had been scared at first. Dean was ignoring the way Castiel's grace stroked and seduced him, however, because he was currently busy kissing the angel as deeply as he could. Castiel's bare body pressing up against him, where Dean had him pinned down to the bed, hips pushed together. Inside, Castiel was dominating Dean in every way, wrapping himself up with raw power and coaxing him towards something that was sure to be the most intense orgasm of Dean's life. But outside, he was relinquishing power to Dean. Dean had the angel's hands pinned up above his head, stretching out the lean muscles of his arms, pulling at the taut muscles in his chest. Castiel was perfect, toned abdomen, flexing and heaving with each grasp of air and throaty groan that bounced off the walls of Dean's room. Dean felt the angel rock his hips up and wrap his legs around Dean's waist, pulling him closer until there was no space between them, no wasted air to get in the way. He could feel the heat and energy radiating from Castiel's body, an unbeatable force coiled up in a mere human. He shivered at the thought and finally broke the kiss, letting his lips press feather-light against Castiel's jaw and throat. Dean, Castiel moaned out, pleading and whining for probably the first time in his life. Dean felt his arousal peak and tug at his stomach, willing him to do something, anything. Dean withdrew and sat back on his heels. Castiel's legs parted around his waist, still trying to draw him closer. He slid his fingers down Castiel's sides, tracing the firm muscles of his vessel, teasing them to flex and tighten and present an image that made Dean exhale sharply. The suit and jacket always drowned out Castiel's body, making him look somewhat smaller than he really was. Underneath all that, He was lithe muscles, strong legs, prominent hips and strong shoulders. Dean would never have pegged him as his type, but he certainly wasn't complaining. "Roll over," Dean commanded quietly, and Castiel let out an exasperated sigh before obeying, untangling his legs before pushing himself up and over. Dean moved around to aid him, and then reached forward to bring Castiel's legs together before he settled himself over the angel's hips, erection pressing lightly between the cheeks of his ass, but not venturing further. He repeated the process on this side of the angel, smoothing his hands down Castiel's side, enjoying the way he groaned and arched up against the touch, strong back muscles flexed and quivered before Dean smoothed his palm down Castiel's spine and made him relax against the mattress. "Just relax," he murmured as he leaned forward and pressed his lips at the top of the angel's back. Castiel moaned and tried to move, but Dean pushed all his weight down into his hips as he trailed his lips and his tongue down the angel's spine. Castiel reached a hand back to try to grab hold of Dean, but Dean quickly caught the hand and pushed it down into the bed, doing the same with the other, fingers interlocked. He trailed the kisses lower, tasting the angel's skin with his tongue as he went. Castiel tasted of salt from the fine sheen of sweat, and something Dean could only describe as atmosphere and fresh air on a winter morning. He drew a deep breath in through his nose as he dipped lower with his mouth, finally reaching the small of Castiel's back. The angel jerked and moaned heavily, fingers flexing against Dean's hands as he tried to move. "Dean," he breathed against the pillow, his whole body shuddering as Dean mouthed at his spine, teasing with his tongue as well as his lips. Dean hummed gently and let out a puff of warm air against Castiel's skin, causing a broken groan and a full-body shiver. "Please," Castiel hissed, but Dean had other ideas. He removed one of his hands from the angel's and brought it down to gently tease at the angel's opening as he opened his mouth and grazed his teeth down Castiel's spine. The throaty, uncontrollable cry that erupted from Castiel was enough to nearly drive Dean mad, the angel's grace throbbing and pulsing as it squeezed tight around Dean's soul. He let out a strangled gasp as he repeated the process, Castiel burying his face against the pillow to muffle the very loud, very shameless groan. Dean was pretty sure he had just found the angel's trigger. And there's the mild porn.
Ah, this is great.
Great. Just picturing Misha and Jensen and right now. Oh god. No. I really need to do porn. Please, seriously, just do porn once. Oh.
Everyone seems to like that. Okay, I'm just leaving that there. That's fine. So, I think that's pretty much it for today. We have just reached our 2-hour marker, and I will write some more stuff for next week, and I shall read it out.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
I don't quite do dramatic readings though.
Some people would like a link to the porn.
Yes, I shall just grab it for them. So yes, everyone's saying where's the rest of it? Well, I was going to write the rest. I shall get around to that at some point, I am sure. So don't worry, don't fear. It's set to be quite heated. So yeah, that's it. And I think that's it for today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
And thank you for coming.
Oh, it's been a pleasure.
Yeah.
It's been awesome having you, Veronica.
Thank
you. You'll have to come again sometime because it's been so
totally.
lovely.
It's been great.
We need like more members of Perform Bond, just like discussing things, because I really think, I think that people could contribute to this, and I think it's awesome that we're doing this weekly, and it's just really, really amazing.
Can I just say something really dirty? Someone said come every week, and I'm sorry, but I just no. I just read porn, guys. Don't tell anyone to come every week, please.
They like porn. They want porn every week. They want porn every day. It's just.
I promise. I will dedicate 10 minutes of every stream to reading out porn and fluff. I promise. So. Okay then. Right. So that is it. Thank you everyone so much for coming.
Spread the word.
Yeah. I'm not sure.
Yep.
I'm not sure who we've got. I think someone might be joining us again next week. I'm not sure. But the week after, we have Rise of the Fallen One, who wrote the marvellous Out of the Deep. So So we shall be asking her why she's so evil to Castiel.
should we tell them about the other person who said they wanted to do it, or do you want it to be a surprise?
Shall we break that news?
Gosh, I don't know.
I think if people shout loud enough, then we'll give you our breaking news about who we've got coming in March. But you're gonna have to shout really loud there in the chat. So I'm just waiting for. Just see what.
Start shouting.
Seriously, if you guys don't shout, then we're just gonna make you wait.
Yeah. Oh, we got yes. Who wants to hear? Come on.
Break
You're gonna have to shout louder than that. Come on.
No teasing. I want to know. It's not Misha. Don't get your hopes up. Stop.
No, come on.
I would love to have Misha.
Oh, here we go.
Misha.
Okay, yeah, there we go. Okay.
Okay. I think they're shouting loud enough. Okay. Who wants to break this news?
Oh gosh.
Shall I do it? Shall I go for it?
Go for it.
Okay.
Go for it.
Yeah, okay, go.
Well, we have basically confirmed in March we are going to have the fantastic Cloudy Jen on our broadcast. So we are all super excited for that. I don't know about you guys. I'm
I am super excited because her fanfiction is amazing.
I just when I found out that she was going to be on here, I was just like, oh my gosh, what am I even going to say?
Yeah, because she's so amazing.
I think every fanfic that was ever wrote by Cloudy Jen is like a masterpiece, and everybody has it on their rec list, and it's just amazing.
I gotta say, Cloudy Jen was one of the first fanfics I read when I was getting into Destiel. It was the first fanfic I read, so it's like my Destiel childhood coming on.
Oh my god.
So yeah.
Look at everyone. Gosh, they're like,
yeah.
Oh.
We'll let her know you guys are so happy. Yeah. So yeah, that's so we have in a couple of weeks we have Rise of the Fallen One, Jen. And then we will at some point have Cloudy Jen, which is going to be totally amazing. So yeah.
Someday we will have Misha.
Yeah, we will have Misha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just guys gotta help us get big enough to do it, okay?
Yeah, spread the word.
Yeah.
Tweet Misha your love. Tell him to listen in for some great porn and all this.
Misha would love to.
I'm pretty sure he'll start reacting if he starts getting these tweets from these insane people every week saying to listen to this radio broadcast.
Yeah, so if you people want Misha, then you're going to have to tell him about us, so spread the word. So yeah, that's all we have time for today. So thank you guys for talking.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. You've been great.
Yeah,
Thanks for having me. Thanks.
And then thank you to everyone who has tuned in today. You have all been amazing, and we shall see you again next week. So bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.